know what destroys people slowly? Hope. Not healthy hope, the toxic kind. The kind that keeps you emotionally chained to someone who keeps proving again and again that your suffering does not disturb their sleep. And still, you stay. Because the human heart is embarrassingly loyal to familiar pain. People become addicted to patterns, even painful ones. That is why some souls keep returning to the same door, even after being crushed behind it 1,000 times. You start making excuses for behavior that should have been the final warning. They're just tired. They're going through something. They still care deep down. Deep down. Sometimes deep down there's nothing there anymore. And accepting that truth hurts like hell. Because now you must grieve someone who is still alive. You must mourn conversations that no longer feel warm. Mourn effort that disappeared. Mourn the version of them that only existed in the beginning. People change. Or maybe they simply stop pretending. And that realization can make your stomach turn. Especially when you gave them the softest parts of yourself. Your patience, your attention, your forgiveness. Only to realize they were slowly teaching you how little you meant to them. A wounded person can survive many things. Rejection, failure, loneliness. But confusion? Confusion destroys the mind. Not knowing where you stand with someone, watching them become colder while you desperately try to save the connection. That kind of pain eats people alive quietly. You begin questioning yourself, your worth, your value, your entire identity. And one day, you finally understand something terrifying. You cannot heal in the same place that keeps breaking you. So you stop chasing, stop arguing, stop explaining wounds they clearly enjoyed causing. Because closure is not always a conversation. Sometimes closure is seeing the truth and walking away anyway, even while your heart screams for one more chance. That is strength, not attachment. And after everything, after the sleepless nights, after the anxiety, after replaying memories until your mind feels poisoned, you finally begin understanding something painful. Some people were only meant to teach you what loneliness feels like in the presence of another human being. That kind of loneliness is different. Heavier. Colder. Because you are not physically alone, but emotionally you are starving beside someone who watches you fade without trying to save you. And the human soul can only tolerate that for so long before something inside it dies. You stop recognizing your own laughter, your own energy. Even your silence changes. People can hear exhaustion in silence. Did you know that? They can hear when a person has cried too many nights in private. They can hear when hope is collapsing slowly inside someone's chest. But the strange thing about pain is that eventually it begins creating clarity. The attachment weakens little by little. The emotional fog disappears. And suddenly, you see how much of yourself you sacrificed just to avoid losing someone who was already emotionally gone. That realization breaks people, because now you must face the truth honestly. You were fighting alone. And love cannot survive when only one soul keeps carrying it on bleeding shoulders. You cannot force warmth from cold hearts. You cannot beg people to value what they are comfortable losing. And you cannot keep abandoning yourself, hoping somebody finally notices your suffering. That path only leads to emptiness, to emotional decay, to waking up one morning feeling like a stranger inside your own body. So eventually, you make the hardest decision of all. Not because you stopped loving them. No, that would be easier. You leave because you finally start loving yourself too. And self-respect changes people. Quietly. Dangerously. It teaches you to stop romanticizing pain. Stop glorifying suffering. Stop mistaking emotional addiction for loyalty. Because loyalty should not require self-destruction. And sometimes, the most painful goodbye becomes the first honest act of self-respect in your entire life.